Yeah, I didn't hear it say, the broadcast is now recording. This is Thursday, June 8th, 2023. It is 5:15 PM. It's a regular monthly board meeting of the Orangeburg Bridge and Port Authority, and this meeting is called to order. Mr. Lawrence?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There are no letters or communications to the board.
Okay. We'll move to approval of the board minutes. March 14th, 2023, Child Care Initiative meeting minutes. Have they been reviewed?
Yes.
Any changes?
No.
Okay, the May 11th, 2023 board meeting minutes. Have they been reviewed and approved?
Yes.
Yes?
Yep.
And the May 30th, 2023 Finance Committee meeting minutes. Have they been reviewed and approved?
Yes, they are.
And the May 30th, 2023 special board meeting minutes. Have they been reviewed and approved?
Those have not.
So no one has reviewed the May 30th. A special board meeting, correct? Okay, so the March 14th, May 11th, and May 30th Finance Committee meetings had been reviewed and no changes. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So I'll make that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Those minutes are approved. Reports, presentations and reports, committee reports, Finance Committee, please.
We met and reviewed the statements for the month of April. And all the activity appears to be routine. There's been a slight improvement in the cash position projected forward. I wonder what Patty would highlight things that she thinks are significant, and perhaps also give us a status report on where we stand on the audit for the closing of the year ending March 31st.
Regarding the audit, the auditors were here Tuesday through Friday last week. They only had the normal 3 journal entries that they usually give us. They were very happy with what we had. Jennifer is working on a brand new GASB 87 for leases. I believe that's the number. So we've had to go back and compile all the leases that we have in the park here at the airport. She's done a wonderful job at getting all that together. Apparently what you have to do is go back to the original contract. And in some cases, some of our tenants have been in the Commerce Park for some time. So she's had 18 supplements, but had to go back all the way to the original contract, which has taken her some time, and she's done quite a good job on that. But they were very happy with it, and we're looking forward to having the statements relatively soon. If we go to the statement of financial position, our accounts receivable regular is at 236, and 90% of that open AR is either current or 1 to 30 days. So we're still holding very well on that. Timing only on the AEAS receivable. The US DOT had a glitch in their system, so all of the submissions had to go in manually for the last 2 months, and we're looking at probably another month of manual submissions, but that's just a timing issue.
It slows down our receipt of our bill.
Yeah. The construction in progress, you'll notice, is down to 3.8. It's down from 4.4. Of the top 4 projects, we should be able to move the airport Malls F relatively soon. I believe we just submitted or received back that final administrative costs that we could get reimbursed for, so we should now be able to bring that out. of construction in progress and make that part of the fixed asset. So construction in progress should go down shortly. Accounts payable regular are at 627. The top five vendors you'll see on the next page. The first one has been paid $35 to $57,000 out of the 90, and they'll be paid the rest of it probably the end of this month. The second one has been paid $37,000. We're paying another $35 tomorrow. The third one has been paid $21,000, and the last three have all been paid in full. So we're keeping up with our payables at this point. You'll notice that the current portion of the long-term debt has increased by about $500,000. Every end of fiscal year, beginning of next fiscal year, we move money out of long-term portion to current portion. So it's not that we've taken on any new debt, we just move long-term to current. And that 1 million will be paid over the course of this year, this fiscal year. And you'll notice on the long-term liability side that it's down the same amount as what this increased. Are there any questions on the statement of financial position? If we go to the budget to actual, we're only in for 1 month, so we would expect most things to be under budget. Unfortunately, our revenue is also under budget. But our marine terminal has seen an increase. We had to do some salt chunk crushing for one of our salt companies, which has brought us a little income. The storage income has been greater than budget. And one thing we forgot to budget for was the interest on the monies that we're holding. So that's adding to our income every month. The legal expenses under bridge, we had some border station dissolution discussions. A lot went to the child care initiative this month, and a couple of other issues that brought it just a couple thousand over budget. If we go down to the industrial park, the general expenses, we had to pay some legal fees for the free trade zone that were not budgeted. And they're just considered general expenses there. The marine terminal, just a couple items there. All unemployment payments currently are going to non-working ILA members. So we had not, without the projects coming into the port this summer, we have some people on unemployment. We had some unanticipated scale repairs due to a lightning strike. So our maintenance expenses are up a little bit. And we have some legal expenses due to the ILA arbitration and the port infrastructure development program. Any questions on anything for the budget to act?
Is there insurance that would cover the damage from the lightning strike?
It's not of an amount that our deductible
Sure,
would, so
fine.
I think it's in the $10,000 range.
Our deductible is around 10.
Yeah, I think the deductibles are reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think we paid about 5, or most of that 5 or 6 is the lightning strike, so it's still well below the deductible.
Sure. Answered my questions.
Okay. And then if we just want to take a quick look at the cash flow, we're looking from May to October. We had a little good news in that the anticipated cash balance from April was a little higher than we would have thought. Our expenses going forward are relatively stable. You'll notice in June, we have some other income coming in, and that will be the reimbursement for the Chrissy grant expense down at the bottom of the page, and our portion of the Chrissy grant. And we're hoping by October to have enough money put aside to pay for the dump truck, which is due somewhere between August and October. Other than that, this is pretty realistic at this point and pretty much on target for the budget as we see it for this year.
I think that completes the report that we would make, and unless there are any questions, I'd say that's it.
Thank you. In your report, staff report, you mentioned a issue with Verizon and MAPCO.
MAPCO changed some of their Verizon or some of their phone system. And what happened, because they said that the phones were at the airport, Verizon changed the billing to us instead of leaving it to MAPCO. So when the bills came in to us, we had no idea who these bills were. So we called and canceled them, not knowing that these bills belonged to MAPCO, and there wasn't anything really to tell us. It didn't say Ogdensburg International Airport with our address, so we didn't even know to call the airport to say, hey, we have some bills here that we haven't seen before.
Ordinarily, do we reimburse MAPCO for those?
Yes, they do come in their regular income statement, they're part of their expenses, but they changed over from something, I believe, to Verizon, and now they can't get it solved, so they've moved to a whole new carrier. Because it's turned into a fraud situation. They can't prove to them satisfactorily, I guess, who they are. So they've moved to a whole nother carrier.
Is there an interruption in service for people coming in and out, or?
But for them, it's really just if somebody has a problem with parking, they can't get through.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Like if they have an issue and they have to call a helpline, they can't, there's no helpline.
There's no help.
MAPCO doesn't have the phones to answer, right?
They have the phones, but no service.
No functioning phones then.
But they initiated this whole thing.
Mhm.
MAPCO did, not Verizon.
Yes, but Verizon made a mistake when
Right.
they said they were at the airport. They just,
We didn't authorize, there was
We
no
didn't
signature
authorize,
on our
no.
point or any initialing of any of that. It just happened.
So it's
It
just
just
a-
showed up on our doorstep.
Failure to communicate that we were gonna get these bills and we should anticipate that.
Well, I understand in the end, we'd be paying it anyways.
right,
It's an expense by MAPCO that we pay. But now, is there an issue with, if there's someone out at the airport, and something's wrong, I'm assuming with the arms? Is that what they would call on?
that payment machine inside.
Oh, payment machine.
But I believe the new service may already be up and running.
Okay.
Okay. As long as it's been resolved. Thank you. That's all I had, Chris. Anything else? Finance committee?
Nope, I think we're all done.
Anyone else have any questions for finance? No? Okay, we'll move to bridge traffic report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The border is open to both Canadian and American travelers regardless of their vaccination status. So basically, people are free to move between the two countries. The May crossings were down, as you see, overall 19.46 over 2019 auto crossings, or overall crossings. And then auto crossings were down roughly 20.75. And then you see the truck traffic was down close to 10%. But the good news on that, and then of course you see revenue was down 76,000 over January 2019. But the good news out of this is these numbers match with what our expectations of the budget. So that's the good news. The other good news is if you look in the auto crossings, and Patty pointed this out, from January moving up forward, it goes by 1,000, then 1,500, and then 2,000 or 3,000, then 6,000. So maybe slowly that'll be coming back to where that percentage change starts going downward. And once that goes below 20, then we're holding our own, but also we're picking up a little bit over what we anticipated. And then the main point to look at is, you might think, well, we need to make up January, February, March, but really the fiscal year is kind of driving for our numbers. So we're only 2 months into that, and we're where we'd hope to be. So that's the positive out of that. What the future holds and how fast it comes back, it's just so hard to say with that, but at least we're getting what we anticipated for bridge traffic. So they were the ones, those were the numbers that we had planned in the budget. Any questions on those? Okay.
Move on to airport activity.
We don't yet have the May numbers for employments. They're usually come in on the 8th or the 9th.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions regarding airport activity? That was my understanding. The new airport manager is in the area.
Yes.
And he's already found a place to live.
Yes.
Good.
He's come in and done all his paperwork, so he's ready to go on Monday.
Oh, Monday.
James took him to the airport yesterday, so he has at least seen the facility. He stopped in today to see me, and we had a lovely chat. Very knowledgeable.
Good. Smoke hasn't scared him away tonight. That's good.
We'll be doing a press release too at the end of the
Oh,
week,
good.
just to make everybody aware of that, to bring some attention to that.
As we should.
Yes.
Good. Board activity report.
As you can see from the first page here, there hasn't been any salt to leave the facility, which isn't unexpected. We have also reached out to the salt companies to inquire on what's to come for this salt season, to whether it's, relocating inventory to prepare. I haven't heard back from one of the two companies, but the ball is rolling so we can be prepared.
Was that about what you anticipated, the tonnage of remaining salt?
Personally, I'm not sure what I would have expected from what historically has been around. I think for the thaw rocks treated salt, I do know there's a little more in storage than intended due to the mild winter. But to say for what's left for the highway salt, I feel I need to experience another season to be able to voice on that.
Hey, 44,000 tons in a bad winter can go pretty quick, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, in a really busy week, you can run 10 to 12,000. So you can exhaust that 3 or 4 weeks easily.
Did I see a salt truck today?
Not to my knowledge.
It
I thought
might
there
have
was
been
one
hauling
heading down to the
aggregate.
port.
It might have been a truck hauler who hauls salt, but it might have been hauling asphalt or aggregate.
Okay. Well, things down at the port are doing pretty good.
Yeah, they're a little slower than normal, but we've been taking advantage of that and cleaning up the facilities and.
Good.
And this, for dates wise, there was only one truck of meal that left the facility in the month of May. Again, down from April. I was going to reach out to the meal and pellet company just to check in. We've been kind of scheduling a monthly conference call to where we've been able to keep a good relationship and implemented some new cleaning documentation just so everyone's held accountable for the change of products when we go from unloading meal product or loading meal product to pellet product and so on. And for the month of May, 12 trucks totaling around 360 ton left the facility. There's still quite a bit of the pellet product in storage. And besides that, I began looking into the grain bin facilities, but that's still in the works, but just to keep everybody in the loop.
That was my next question.
I know it's been brought up previously, so just waiting for probably a,
Was Mr. Ken working with someone on what we needed to do for dryer?
not to my knowledge, that I don't think he's provided us with anything.
Wasn't he looking into that? You remember a
I think he was
conversation?
talking to somebody about just trying to find out what that certain agricultural operations would need so that the improvements that we would bring would make sure they take care of those needs
Right.
with that. And I think he was talking to somebody, but I don't know how far along he got with that.
So when he comes back, might want to reach out to him and see what he's got. I don't know, but yeah,
Jeez,
yeah, he's away.
Maybe in a few
smoke free,
weeks.
I hope.
Good. Any questions of James? Anything else?
For port facilities, I was looking into doing some lighting upgrading. Working with a couple of different National Grid programs. Just looking over, gone through most all the preparation, but just need to read over some documentation before we sign up for anything that we shouldn't be, type of thing. Read the fine print.
Especially if it doesn't cost us, right?
Yeah.
That would be the best kind.
Well, we have to, it looks like we pay for the new lighting and then we can submit. To be reimbursed for,
Through NYSERDA.
National Grid too,
Oh,
to bring in better, more efficient lighting.
good.
Yeah, James has done some.
Yeah, good
some work
thinking.
on that.
Good. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Anyone have any questions of James? If not, we'll move on to economic development report, including the building occupancy.
Great. So I'm sounding like a broken record. We're staying the course. Our occupancies are running the same as they were last month. We do have some resolutions this meeting to bring before you that will actually increase our T-hanger lease occupancy to 100%. So we're hoping for your support on that. That'll be, I think that's the first time in a long time in the airport team's been great about jockeying around storage to be able to make that happen, to be able to fully utilize that building. So that's exciting. A couple of highlights over the last month. I had the good opportunity to meet with the new visitor center and community relations manager for the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Seaway Development Corporation. Really energetic person that's really excited about the new visitor center development and what, community involvement could come of that. So as kind of I wouldn't say a sister organization, but a very closely related organization, we want to maintain good ties with them and see where there's maybe linkages between
There could be a spot out there from one of those buildings.
between the port and the locks. So that was good conversations. We're working with a couple of tenants in the Commerce Park and to build on what James is working on with the lighting. We've been able to offer to some of our tenants, and we're hoping to go as far as we can financially with the upgraded LED lighting to really reduce their energy costs and provide better work environment for their staff. So we're excited about things like that. One of the new tenants that we're bringing on that was approved last board, we're working on bringing them here to get them situated in their space. There has been a little revision in their lease, which I could bring up on a later topic to go over that. We've solidified our out-of-home marketing contracts with the Ottawa billboard providers. So those things are getting set to be put in motion for August, middle August. I was very pleased, to have the opportunity to talk with the new airport manager, and there was a lot of alignment on the activities we've been starting and where he's seen the best bang for the buck. So that was a little bit of reassurance. It was nice. And then we have very early stage conversations with a clean energy company about utilization of our heavy industrial park parcels, which will come up for discussion. We're to a point to where there's some potential contract negotiations. So we'll discuss that a little later. But for now, that's what I have to present to you.
So has the FTZ zone been recertified?
Yes. So the company that bought the ACO property is actually utilizing it. So we've paid the attorney expenses, which will get reimbursed. And as part of that operating agreement, they pay us an annual fee to keep the FTZ active. So
Good.
We're happy that that's still moving forward. We're happy somebody's utilizing that, and it's a good program. We just got to get more utilization.
I'm glad you said that. That leads me into my next question.
Sure.
I see in your report you attended the St. Lawrence County Chamber of Commerce Finance Committee.
Yes.
So at those meetings, I mean,
Mhm.
you represent us.
Yes.
Is it clear to them, and maybe it's not, that because we have a FTZ here, that it can be used anywhere in the county?
Yes.
Have
that's
they
very good.
promoted that?
Not as fully as we would like. And I think a large part of that is probably them not knowing the full details of what that program entails. So it's the onus is on us to give them the tools they need to then go out to the membership and say, hey, this is an extra benefit you don't get everywhere. It's very specific. So that's
Would they give you the opportunity to do a presentation on it?
absolutely.
I think they should.
Just want to say that they do those pop-up gatherings that they.
And maybe when that happens, you would let me know.
Absolutely.
I would think they might be willing to come here, have a gathering.
Yes.
That would be even better.
Oh,
Good suggestion.
good call. Show them.
It'll happen before the new airport expansion, but when that is
Absolutely.
complete, we'll have a beautiful venue to be able to host. So
They can see our nice sign out there. FTZ 118. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good,
well, thank you for the suggestions.
because that just answered two of my questions, so thank you. Anything else?
Not to the board, no.
Anyone have any questions of Anthony? No? All right, let's move on. Mr. Lawrence, any unfinished business?
Not at this time.
Okay, we'll go into business items. It looks like I left my one at home of writing. Agenda item B1.
Okay. Approval of lease supplement number 19 with Daniel Day Dodge LCSWR. Staff has negotiated lease supplement number 19 with Daniel Day Dodge LCSWR for 170 square feet of office space in Suite 207A of the Bridge Administration Building for a one-year period commencing July 1st, 2023 and terminating June 30th, 2024 at a rate of $15 per square foot, equaling $212.50 per month, or $2,550 for the one-year period, inclusive of utilities. All other terms and conditions of the original lease agreement shall remain in full force and effect and are hereby ratified and affirmed.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Malone?
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes,
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
thank you. Agenda item B2.
Agenda item B2, approval of HVAC repair at the border station. The HVAC system is critical to the lease space and must adhere to strict performance standards set forth by the GSA lease. Sufficient expertise is not available within the OBPA to perform these services. The use of Train for the border station HVAC maintenance and repair is a historical relationship in the continuation of which is in the best interest of the authority. Staff reviewed the details of this purchase and recommends purchasing this service from Train.
This is for the amount of,
For the amount of $6,565.
Mr. Lawrence, haven't we had a long-term relationship with Train regarding these
Yes,
units?
ever since the building was commissioned in 2003 or 4, it's all trained system up there with all the controllers, and they've been very good at responding. And we have a service agreement with them, and they're able to, when we have a problem because of the service agreement, we get pretty good, really good service.
Good. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Made? Second?
Second.
And seconded. Any further discussion? Not, Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Kaufman?
Aye.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Mr. Manelli?
Yes.
You? Agenda item Charlie 1.
Okay, approval of new lease agreement with Day Automation. Staff has negotiated a new lease agreement with Day Automation for 2,324 square feet of office and warehousing space in Building 4 of the Commerce Park campus for a one-year period commencing June 1st, 2023 and terminating May 31st, 2024 at a rate of $5.68 per square foot, equaling $1,100 per month or $13,200 for the one-year period exclusive of utilities. Day Automation has been a somewhat long-term tenant. This is considered a new lease because they're almost doubling their space with us. So we're right-sizing the space they have available to them in hopes that they will continue to be a tenant for more than just another year.
We're looking at increased employment, do you know?
No, it's actually more efficiency of current operations.
Good. That's good too. Motion
So moved.
made
Second.
and seconded. Any further discussion? That, Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Mr. Manelli?
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman?
Yes.
Agenda item Charlie 2.
Approval of 5-year internal sprinkler inspection. The sprinkler systems are critical to the lease spaces at Commerce Park and must adhere to strict performance standards set forth by the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA, and New York State building codes. Sufficient expertise is not available within the OBPA to perform these inspections. The use of SRI for Commerce Park sprinkler system is a historical relationship, and the continuation of which is in the best interest of the authority. The OBPA currently has an agreement with SRI for our biannual inspections. Staff reviewed the details of this purchase and recommends purchasing this service from SRI in the amount of $5,917.
This is for 5 years,
This is an inspection that's done once every 5 years.
once every 5 years.
And it
So this
includes,
is one inspection and then in 5 years we'll do it again.
yes,
Gotcha.
and it also includes other, because they do the biannuals, they're also repairing a couple sensors, gongs, things that they found in the biannual inspections.
That's included in the price.
Correct.
So there's some additional things aside from just.
Besides
inspection.
just that.
Is it
Good.
just labor though? Correct? It's not, if there's something that needs to be replaced, it's not mechanical.
Correct.
It's not parts, it's just labor.
And that
Gotcha.
includes 1, 2, 3, 6 of the 7 buildings in
Mhm.
Commerce Park.
That's great.
So
Good. Their motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
made and second. Any further discussion? Not Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Whitten,
Yes.
Ms. Terminelli?
Yes.
Mr. Coffin,
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes. Agenda item Delta 1.
Okay. Approval of T-Hanger lease agreement with Timothy Birch. Staff has negotiated a new lease agreement with Timothy Birch for T-Hanger number 9 at the Ogdensburg International Airport for a 3-month period commencing June 15th, 2023 and terminating September 14th, 2023 at a rate of $240 per month or $720 for the 3-month period inclusive of utilities. Timothy Birch has been a long-term seasonal T-Hanger lessee. This is the 3-month relationship has been an ongoing thing. The lease rate does reflect the most recent increase in rental rate. So he will be with us this summer.
Good. Motion.
Make that motion.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Terminelli?
Yes.
Mr. Coffin,
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Whitten?
Delta 2.
Approval of T-Hanger lease agreement with Gregory Odenhusen. Staff has negotiated a new lease agreement with Gregory Odenhusen for T-Hanger number 7 at the Ogdensburg International Airport for a 1-year period commencing June 1st, 2023 and terminating May 31st, 2024 at a rate of $240 per month or $2,880 for the 1-year period inclusive of utilities. Gregory would be a new tenant that's never been to OGS before. We'd be
Excellent.
happy to have him.
Yes,
Nice.
we are. Motion.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Coffin,
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Ms. Terminelli?
Yes.
Delta 3.
Possibly one guy on.
D3, approval of emergency AWAS repair. The AWAS system is critical to the airfield at OGS. Facility failure occurred after a power surge ruined the wind sensor. A low voltage cutoff module was installed to prevent this from happening in the future. What else can I say about it? The reason for this was the power surge, and for reasons not known to me, there was no low voltage cutoff to prevent this from happening. But
Somebody
this-
better explain that to me.
No, it could be, part of that could be, we get it with the scale house, is that you get a lightning strike anywhere near the fence and and everything's underground. So it could be the fence or it could be something close by. They're really tricky to prevent because it's such a large thing. Now I can't explain the module. apparently when they set that, the AWAS was commissioned in 2019, so there's no warranty on any of that. And it's not an insurance deal, but I would, it was put in by spec and they probably didn't take into account that, but that's my guess on how it got around that.
Isn't that the equipment that if you're looking north on the runway, it's off to the right? That was
If you're
commissioned,
going east towards 68 off the runway, it'll be on your right and it's halfway up the runway,
okay,
the AWAS. It was all, basically the system got to the point where if it failed, this is when we had Allegiant and SkyWest.
right.
We were really getting some wonky numbers on ceilings and things that was affecting some of the flights.
But wasn't it supposed to tell us if there's a lightning strike in the
Oh,
area?
no, that's the FAA, yes. So what the area you're talking about is, there's a trailer out there that does all lightning strikes. And it does warnings that are,
So this isn't the same thing?
no,
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
okay.
And also included in that, they did a triannual inspection while they came up. But that was,
Which was required of the AWAS system. So to get back to some of these things like the sprinkler, they're all regulatory and rules, things that when we commit to sprinkling buildings, we're required by code. And the same goes with some of these systems that are on or above what you normally do.
Mhm. This is an item for the new airport manager to be aware of. Is there a motion
So moved.
made
Second.
and seconded? Any further discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Ms. Romanelli?
Yes.
Mr. Coffin?
Yes.
Oh,
That's it. Okay, let's move on to Echo One.
okay. Approval of lease agreement with Woodcrest Dairy LLC. Staff has negotiated a lease agreement with Woodcrest Dairy LLC for approximately 42 acres of vacant land, consisting of 14 acres east of Acco and approximately 28 acres on Wagner Road for a period commencing May 1st, 2023 and terminating November 30th, 2023 at a rate of $50 per acre or $2,100 for the lease period. In addition, the lease gives the authority the option to cancel the lease with 60 days notice should the need arise that a major industrial project requires the acreage. Also included in this agreement is the requirement for Woodcrest Dairy LLC to provide proof of appropriate insurance coverage to the authority, naming the Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority as additional insured.
Is this the same one we've had out there for a lot of years?
Yes, yeah, so this has been an ongoing relationship and it's part of our land management program to lease vacant property to maintain and ward off against wetland creep, so.
It works.
Yeah. And
And that property isn't zoned agriculture.
correct. This is industrial property and we've,
It gets read that way sometimes when
so-
people see the corn stalks and
Yeah.
everything, thinking, when we've talked about different zoning things or different industrial things, the DC can, or NYSERDA, when it comes to solar things, they're thinking, oh, you're taking agricultural
Right.
land. That's not the case. So
So, yeah,
Go
we're
ahead.
working with Woodcrest. The Acco property will be alfalfa this year. Wagner Road most likely will still be corn, but in subsequent years, we want to make sure that it's a agricultural product that doesn't raise alarm and blur the line between ag and industrial.
and ideally, if we could get them all to hay fields, then when they leave, we can manage those by mowing in that regard. And also, we did have one outfit that was interested in, they were trying to get a good look at the property in the fall, and you go out on, and the corn stalks are so high.
You couldn't get
We kind of wanted them to see more of what the property looked like, but you really couldn't get a good view on that. So we kind of kept it in our head that maybe we just you know, we can't insist on what they do, but if one, like they did alfalfa this
Yep,
year, which
yeah.
will be helpful. The deer will still come around, but anyway, that's kind of how we're looking at that, just so that if and when they leave or whatever, we can manage that. But hopefully we've got a tenant there or something.
Good.
And this does reflect a $10 per acre increase over last year.
Nice.
Motion,
So moved.
second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Ms. Terminelli?
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes. Okay, Frank one.
Okay, approval of easement agreement with the Development Authority of the North Country, or DANC. Staff has negotiated an easement agreement with the Development Authority of the North Country, DANC, for a fiber optic cable located on poles crossing over the New York and Ogdensburg Railroad near the intersection of County Route 28A for a 5-year period commencing November 1st, 2023 and terminating October 31st, 2028 at a rate of $2,600 for the 5-year period. This is a long-standing easement that we've been working with the Development Authority for a long time. They've been an excellent partner, and this just maintains that relationship and reflects an increase in easement rate in line with our other easements that came up for renewal in 2022, 2023.
Good. Motion
I'll make the motion.
Second.
made and seconded. Any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Ms. Terminelli?
Yes.
Mr. Kaufman?
Yes.
Mr. Burns?
Yes.
Ms. Whitten?
Yes.
Mr. Lawrence, any other such matters?
No, Mr. Chairman.
So there was,
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, that's
Yes,
okay.
there is.
So at the May 11th, 2023 board meeting, board approved agenda item C1, which was a new lease agreement with 5G Technologies USA Limited. Yeah, sure.
Have you got one?
Yeah, or I'll keep it. In working with the tenant, the initial start date was May 1st. The tenant's not able to take possession until June 15th. We were working through some
Thank you.
updated insurance requirements and things of that nature. Typically, our leases, when they're effective, we begin to invoice in an effort to give this company the most opportunity for success and not having a waiting list, so to speak, for the space. We thought it a prudent and good and a good tenant relation to amend the lease to reflect the June 15th start date. The lease is still for 8 months. It's still at the same rate per square foot. So the total lease value remains the same for the authority. So I present that to you. We do have a resolution before us if you feel the need to approve the amendment formally.
So we're moving from a date of May 1 to June 15,
Yes,
terminating in the middle of February 24.
24. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
That's my mistake. Yes.
Good catch.
So you're asking for a resolution approving that with a change in the negotiated lease.
Yes. So it would essentially move forward the start and end date of the original lease by 1.5 months.
Jen, your opinion on how we should handle this?
I think it doesn't hurt to do a resolution to authorize the change.
Okay.
It's a simple amendment.
Amendment to the original resolution?
Correct.
All right.
Okay.
So need a motion to amend the item, agenda, I'm sorry,
That original
the
resolution.
original
would have
one
been
for, what was the date on that?
May 11th, 2023.
May 11th.
That would have been agenda item C1.
C1, to amend it using agenda item G1 with date of commencing June 15th, 2023, and terminating February 14th, 2024. Is there a motion for that amendment?
So moved.
Made and seconded.
Second.
Okay. Thank you. All those in favor of amending the resolution, say aye. Opposed? So the amended resolution allows for a lease for 5G Technologies USA commencing June 15th, terminating February 14th, 2024, at a rate of $7.30 per square foot, equaling $517.08 per month, $4,136.64 for the 8-month period exclusive of utilities. Is there a motion for that resolution?
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded. Any discussion? Karen, call the roll, please.
Mr. Coffin,
Yes.
Mr. Burns.
Yes.
Ms. Whitten,
Yes.
Ms. Terminelli,
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
That will do it for other such matters.
Any comments from board or staff? Anyone online? Karen? No? Jen? Anything? No? Is there a need for executive session, Mr. Lawrence?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, there's a need to go into executive session for matters relating to 105F and 105H of the open meetings law.
Okay, is there a motion to move in executive session?
So moved.
Made? I'm sorry?
We anticipate no action or formal vote coming out of that.
Okay, still moving?
Yes.
Sorry.
Second.
Seconded. All those in favor of moving executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? We move into executive session. Know when you're ready? Okay, we'll have executive session. Mr. Lawrence, any business to be conducted?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Next meeting date is scheduled July 13th, 2023 at 5 PM.
I probably won't be
I
at
need
that one.
60 seconds.
Okay, you got it.
This is my last meeting with the board. I really appreciate the excellent work that you've all done. I have enormous appreciation of the goals of the OBPA with providing good employment, stimulating jobs, and operating the infrastructure. And I want to tip my hat to Steve and to Patty. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You too.
Thank you.
Yes,
You
Thank you,
too.
Chris.
we will,
We appreciate your work.
we will surely miss you. Your input
What's the
in the
reason?
finance committee has been excellent. Excellent. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you for your time.
I appreciate it.
We will miss you.
Well done.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Good night, Jen.
Thanks, Jen.
We off?
Bye.